Hi guys, Steve Weber here. In this episode, we're going to be taking a little closer look at something called the Scissor Snake. It's a member of the Scissor Snake family, which is a whole family of designs that you can download off Pinshape. Totally free, really neat design. So we're going to take a little closer look at it. So stay tuned, don't go away. When it comes out of the printer, it looks just like this, all folded up. You peel that off your build plate, and with just a little bit of work, hopefully if your tolerances are good, it won't take much. You get it cleaned up, and it will do that for you. This is pretty cool. I mean, you can pick things up with it. Well, pick things up with it, move them around. Because of the limitations of the size of my printer, this is the biggest one that I can make. But you can imagine if I had a bigger printer, I could make a lot bigger one. You could reach across the room, be Inspector Gadget with this thing. And I also wanted to show you a fun little trick you can do. These will actually grab on to small wire objects, and just the weight of it will hold it there hanging on a wire shelf. So that's one way you can kind of store and display it. In a later episode, I'll be showing you my collection of 3D printed stuff here, so stay tuned. The secret to what makes the Scissor Snake work so well is in the joints. If you look closely in here, you'll see that the way it's designed, these joints, they're made at 45-degree angles, so there's no overhangs at all. There's no need for any kind of support to get in there and gum up the works. So that's why you're able to take it off the build plate, and it just snaps apart and works right away as long as you've got your tolerances good. There is a very fine spacing between the parts, so you've got to make sure that you've got your printer really dialed in to be able to do it. But I've printed this several times without really having things that dialed in. I've seen a lot of other designs where even when you get everything dialed in perfectly, it just doesn't work. But this design is just beautiful. I'm still kind of studying it, trying to understand exactly how it works so that I can duplicate it in my own designs, because I've done captured joints like this in a lot of mine, and I really enjoy doing that, but the way I've done it is, I have to admit, nowhere near as brilliant as the way this guy has. I wanted to show you an example of another similar design, and this is the jack stand that everybody has seen. This is all over Thingiverse. It's really popular, and I've tried to print this a lot of times, and I've ended up throwing all of my prints away. I've never successfully got it to do without breaking, and I'll show you why. Is because, you know, all the joints in here are basically designed in what I call the old way. You know, this is how you would design something for traditional manufacturing. And what I'm trying to learn from this is, you know, this is the new way. This is how you want to design your joints for 3D printing. If you want something to really be a beautiful 3D printed design, you have to kind of get rid of that old way of thinking and start thinking about all of your simple little components, like just a simple joint, like, or a movable hinge like this, in a new way. You know, the traditional way of designing a hinge, you got a cylinder and it goes into a round hole and the cylinder rotates. Well, that cylinder is not easy to print without, I mean, no matter how you rotate it, it's going to have some issues of overhangs and stuff getting, in this case, fused together. And I'm just going to try to open this scissor lift and see what happens, but, well, that's what happens. So that's the old way. You know, this guy, I pulled him right off the build plate and just went like that. And that's thanks to those beautiful 45-degree angles in there. You know, what you've got, you end up with is, instead of cylinders going through round holes, you've got sort of cone shapes. And those cone shapes can be rotated in just about any orientation and still print without any overhangs, as long as you've got the right angles in them. So that's the lesson to be learned there. I want to thank you for tuning in to the show today, and I encourage you, if you enjoyed what you saw, give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to follow me on social media. I'll put all kinds of links below the video with my blog and my Twitter and all that good stuff. So I encourage you to check all that out, and don't forget to check out my other videos, and keep printing, keep making, and keep rocking on.